Welcome to the Progress on Purpose podcast. We are a community of people who seek to be intentional about how we think and behave towards an intended goal. We believe that what we say, think, and do governs our ability to make progress towards our goal and ultimately lead to success. In simple terms, it's the action of being intentional and making progress on purpose. I'm so happy to be back for another power-filled, purpose-filled episode. If you are new to the family, welcome to the Pop family. You are certainly not here by chance, but I believe that there is value in listening to this show. So after this episode, please leave an honest review and rate the show. If you are a dedicated listener, hey, we are back. Help us grow the community by sharing the show with a friend, a coworker, a loved one, anybody who you think is going to find value in this community. I want to say, once again, running through these announcements real quick, I want to say thank you for supporting the show by way of listening, by way of going to makeprogressonpurpose.com and purchasing teas, shopping the merch shop, as well as listening to the previous episodes, blogs on the show. Like, you guys have been showing up, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I even appreciate you, and my family appreciates you, because you all have been checking out the YouTube channel Life the Hardy Way. If you have not watched a couple of our episodes, please go to YouTube and type in Life the Hardy Way. That is my family show that we pretty much just show the behind the scenes of the Hardys, right? So not that we're famous or anything like that, but we do have a good time as a family. My husband and I love each other very much, and we showcase that in every area of our life. So it's definitely something that I want to introduce to you. But today I have a very exciting show, because I am actually doing this show live on Instagram. And even though we have been in January for 28 days, I feel a strong need to have this conversation about the things that we are not doing in 2021. So if you are just tuning in to the show, that's what we're talking about this morning. We're going to talk about a list of things that in 2021 we are not doing. Okay, I put a post up that I shared, or I shared a post that I found not too long ago, where it was talking about the things that we are not doing for free, and a lot of people reacted well to that post because it's very relevant. So we're gonna get into that, as well as a couple of other things that we are not doing in 2021. First of all, I need to talk about the number 21. I looked it up, and when I looked up the number 21, it brings up connotations of spiritual fulfillment, bringing things into fruition, as well as transformation and change. Let's park right there for a second. I don't know what Jesus was doing when he was 21. Like, I wasn't there. But I know that when I turned 21, and if you agree with me, let me know. When you turned 21, life began. Like, that was the year that when you turned 21, that was the year that you were legally able to drink, legally able to club, legally able to do anything and everything that you desired, right? So 21 naturally is a year of bringing things into the new. It's a new beginning for many people, because now you have the opportunity to be independent and be free. And so even in this year, 2021, we need to take on that same attitude, right? But we're going to get into it. All right, so here's a list of things that we're not doing in 2021. And when you think about them, please understand my body language, like full attitude. I'm giving full attitude in this entire episode, because I feel so strongly about the things that we're not doing in 2021. All right. So the first thing relates to the post. Okay. The first thing is that in 2021, we're not doing stuff for free. We're not doing stuff for free. And in the post that I shared on my page, Progress on Purpose Podcast, it gave you some tips to change the conversation so that people understand that you offer a particular service. And because you offer that particular service, you have, it's giving you a way to let someone know without being rude, without being put off, that you have a paid service to do the very things that you're asking. So what does that mean? I take that to my sewing business. Now, I have a sewing company, and a part of that sewing company is I teach people how to sew, right? So if someone reaches out to me and they say, Michelle, can you teach me how to sew? Now, I have a choice to make. I can say, yes, I'll teach you how to sew. And the old Michelle would, come up with a schedule, try to find a way for you to work around that schedule, and we would, figure it out. But the new Michelle is like, yes, I can teach you how to sew. Matter of fact, let's plan a time. Click on this link, and you'll see my full fee schedule. You decide how many sessions you want to do. You decide what it is that you want to learn how to create from this list of things that I can teach you how to do. Here's why. We have YouTube University, right? We have the World Wide Web. And because we have the World Wide Web, we can almost learn anything. And so if someone is asking you how to teach you something that they can learn literally online, that requires time. That requires effort. And so what I'm not saying is don't help people, but what I am saying is offer your service in a way that if they want to invest in your time and if they want to use your time, they have to understand that your time is not free. And there are several ways that we can say that without being put off, standoffish. And we can do it unapologetically. So if you have not checked out the post, please check out the post. I shared it. Now, I didn't create it. I found it online in a group that I'm a part of on Facebook. And I was like, oh, this is definitely for my community, right? So we're not doing stuff for free in 2021. Yes, we could have a conversation, but even in that, right? So when I call my lawyer, I have to book a discovery call or a consultation with my lawyer. We're not just getting on the phone talking about, my stuff for free. Like at the end of the day, people make their livelihood based on the services that they provide. And so we cannot expect to ask someone to provide a service that they would normally do and normally charge for. We cannot expect that. We can't expect them to do it for free. And that's friends, that's family, that's everybody. At the same time, on the other side of the coin, we are not going to be apologetic about requesting or requiring a fee for the things that we offer as a service. Like in 2021, hear the attitude. We are not doing it for free. All right. There is, if somebody wants something that badly, they will pay for it. Like when you walk into Neiman Marcus and you want that bag, you cannot negotiate your way through that bag. You cannot say, oh, can you put me on a payment plan? Like it is what it is. And so we have to take on that same mentality when it comes to our products, our services. And one thing I'm coming to learn in business is that as you request and require a particular price, people rise to the occasion. Like Louis Vuitton never goes on sale, but people rise to the occasion and they find a way to make the money that or gather the money that they need in order to get what they desire, right? So yeah, we're not doing stuff for free in 2021. Second thing that we're not doing in 2021 is we're not putting other businesses down. We're not putting other people's businesses down. I'm a part of a group on Facebook, and one of the posts came up maybe about 4 months ago, and they were talking about, a particular business that wasn't doing the things that they said that they weren't going to do. Now, I get it, but my whole thing is we as a people have to be more intentional about how we talk about other businesses. And the reason why is because within our community, we want to be as supportive as possible. And we don't want to put a business down that maybe they're going through something. Maybe it can be us that reaches out to them and say, hey, I've reached out to you. I'm looking for you to provide this service, but I'm not getting the response that I would expect to receive. Is something going on? Like, we just have to be a little bit more encouraging and give more positive feedback, because more than anything, especially if it's a small business, positive feedback and constructive criticism is what helps the business grow. But if we're getting online and we are bashing businesses and we're talking about, especially our own and our small businesses, that's counterproductive to the growth of the business. And just like we wouldn't do it for our children, we wouldn't do it for ourselves in the mirror, or we shouldn't be doing it, then we got to be mindful to not put other people's businesses down, but rather encourage them and offer positive feedback. The third thing we're not doing in 2021, and this is personal, is that we are not settling for mediocre. We are not settling for mediocre. And staying with the business theme, we're not settling for mediocre in business. Like, anyone who is super successful in business will tell you that you underpromise and overdeliver. Like, that is what we are supposed to do because we're in business. Underpromise but overdeliver. We cannot settle for mediocre in any area of our lives, right? And that includes how we show up every day. How we show up every day. One of the things that I started doing in 2021, well, really when I cut my hair, is I said, I'm not going to just leave the house any old way anymore, because I'm learning that I'm my own brand, and I have to set a precedent. So when you see me outside, even at the grocery store, you're going to see me somewhat put together. Like, you don't have to be full glam, but you at the same time don't have to be busted just because you're running out. Like, no, take a minute, because you're not settling for mediocre, because you're not settling for just any old thing. Start with your outer appearance. And of course, you then need to transfer to the inside, right? Not settling for mediocre in every area of your life. But some of the things that we can do immediately is how we present ourselves. That includes not being late. Can we talk about it? Hey, intentional people, I had to interrupt the show to tell you about a resource that I know we can all benefit from. As go-getters and goal-getters, sometimes we get stuck, we get hindered, and we find ourselves needing help in one area or another. I know personally, I lived for many years hindered by the opinions of others, which led to many insecurities and setbacks. It took more than prayer to get me out of the funk that I was in. What helped so much was talking to a licensed therapist who helped me get to the root of my issues so that I could build myself back up to see myself as God sees me. I began seeing a therapist on a consistent basis, and it changed my life. This is why I'm so excited to tell you about BetterHelp.com. It is a secure online professional counseling service that is available for clients worldwide. let me tell you about 4 things I absolutely love about this service. First, there is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's counselor network that may not be locally available in many areas. You can log on to your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You get timely and thoughtful responses, plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so that you never have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room like with traditional therapy. BetterHelp.com is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. Progress on Purpose podcast listeners get a special discount of 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/POP, which helps save more money off of this amazing service. Visit betterhelp.com/POP to start a conversation today. You never know. It may be the most important conversation of your life. That's betterhelp.com/POP. BetterHelp.com/POP. Let's get back to the show. So, oftentimes we can be successful in a lot of areas, but I do understand and know that tardiness and timeliness is an issue that many of us suffer from. And really, it's a decision that we have to make. Just like we make a decision to do everything else, we have to just be intentional about our time. One thing I'm learning is that time is like currency and you cannot get it back. Once it's spent, you cannot get it back. So I guess it's not like currency, but maybe it is. We're going to talk about it. We're going to think about it. I feel like it is like currency though, because what the time that you put in, if you put it in and spend it wisely, it comes back to you. So it can be like currency or like an investment. But if we late, how do we expect to receive a return on our investment if we're late, if we're tardy, and if we're continuing to just settle for the fact that we are late? Like, we really got to work on that. And I understand sometimes, things happen, right? We're going to sometimes find ourselves being late, sometimes find ourselves being tardy, but it should not be a habit or a practice. Like in 2021, get that together. Because guess what? We are in a year, as it says, of fruition. 21 means fruition. And so if we want certain things to come into fruition, then we have to start honoring certain principles. And one principle that we need to honor, and this is one that even God honors, is that he's always on time, right? We like to talk about God and how he's always on time. And so if we're made in his image, we got to be on time too. We got to be on time too. That's to work. That's to whatever it is that we are going. Showing up on time for your kids. One thing I know to be true is, when my daughter is doing something in school and it started at 8 o'clock, she looking for me at 8. She looking for me before 8, but she definitely like, hold up, it's 8 o'clock. Where is she at? And that is because there is an expectation that when you are on time, you are there to support, to invest, to do whatever it is that you need to do in that moment. But if we are late, we miss so many things. And so, 2021, we're not settling for mediocre in any area of our life. That's showing up on time, that's over-delivering daily, and being our best in everything that we can possibly do. We're not settling. Number 4, something else we're not doing on 2021, and I hope you can hear the attitude in my voice, is that we're not assuming that everything is for everyone. We're not assuming that everything is for everyone. Like, one thing I'm learning is that everything is not for everyone, and that's okay, right? That's okay. Everything ain't for everybody. Especially a lot of us who are in business, we are learning that our community, our tribe is not necessarily our family and our friends, right? But there are 9 billion people on this planet. that if we put our content out there, if we put our business out there, we will find our tribe. If we're intentional about who we're targeting, who we are speaking to, who we are trying to work for. If we do those things, we'll start to find our tribe. One of the things I learned about Clubhouse, and this is the way it's set up, and not just Clubhouse, I'm realizing it's this way on every social media platform, is that the people that you like and that you follow, and as you start to, watch certain videos, watch certain things, that tells those algorithms, oh, she likes them. So they'll give you more of that. And so we have to be really intentional about the things that we're looking at, the people that we're following, because those algorithms will show us more and more of that. Now, in an entertainment sense, that can be great. But we also have to understand that everything that we consume becomes our diet. And so if we are trying to be on a journey, to growth and better and following a different path, we have to start consuming a different diet. We can't keep eating and consuming the same things and thinking that we're going to be the one to be different. No, you're going to be what you see. You're the sum of your 5 closest friends. That's what people tell us all the time. And so when we are even on social media, we have to be intentional about who we're connected to. Even on Clubhouse, we got to be intentional about who we're following, because once we start to follow, the algorithm will start to say, oh yeah, they like them, let me get them more than them. And so you'll find yourself, I see some people like Clubhouse is, it's ratchet, they got this and that, and I'm like, I don't see that. My Clubhouse is filled with millionaires. the Clubhouse that I'm a part of, the people that I follow are millionaires, and so they talk about good stuff all the time. Like nobody's talking junk. So I don't know that Clubhouse. I don't know what you're talking about, and it's because I found my tribe. All right, so that's 4. Another thing we're not doing in 2021. We're not lying to ourselves. We're not lying to ourselves. Listen, what you like is what you like. What you like is what you like, and it's what you like. Who you are is who you are, and it's who you are. Listen, walk into any store, okay? It's going to be a little shady, but stick with me. Walk into any store, major store, we're all adults here, right? So in your adult section, not in the juniors, you're not going to find size 5, size 7, size 9, size 11. You're going to find 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So if you are, we're going to give you 21 and over. There is no reason why you lying to yourself telling people you a size 11. Okay. You're not an 11 because you're an adult. And the standards for an adult are different from the standards for a junior. And so we got to be careful that we're not lying to ourselves, telling ourselves that we are one size when we are not. Be honest, be open. Listen, this world, and I'm not just limited to size. I told you it was going to be a little shady, but listen, just go with the story. We are, and we have to be careful that we are operating in who we are and being okay with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a 12. Okay? Embrace that 12. Matter of fact, 12 is great. There's no point in lying or telling yourself you an 11, squeezing into a junior's 11, when you could just walk into the glory of an adult 12. Like, walk in who you are. In 2021, we not lying to ourselves. What you like is what you like. Who you are is who you are. Listen, Jasmine Sullivan's album, fire. I know a lot of people who they scared to listen to it because they heard about this, or they may have even heard a song and they like, ooh, I can't. Listen, if you like it, you like it. It's a part of what you like, right? So we're not going to lie to ourselves in 2021. And matter of fact, the more honest that we are with ourselves, the faster we grow, the higher we can reach our ultimate potential, because we are being honest with ourselves and we're being honest with God. Like, God, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am. Help me to not be, if it's all over the place, God, help me to be all over the place. But this is where I am right now. God, help me to take the taste of alcohol out my mouth, God, because I see that you're trying to push me in another direction, but I like alcohol right now. And so, God, if it be your will, help me. But if we're not honest and we're continuing to lie to ourselves, then we're never going to get the help that we need, Can I slide into therapy real quick, though? Like, because we're not lying to ourselves, there are some things that we may need to deal with that we're going to need to talk to someone about. We're going to need to sit down and have a conversation with somebody. When I realized that there were areas about me that I needed to fix, or my marriage was going to suffer or continue suffering, I went and I talked to somebody. Because prior to that, I'm like, yeah, I know what the problem is. It's going to get better. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to do this. And it wasn't getting better. Matter of fact, it was getting worse. And so when I stopped lying to myself about it and stopped lying about the fact that I needed help, then I got the help that I needed, and it was fixed quickly because I sat with a licensed professional who could handle the magnitude of what it was that I was experiencing. Excuse me. And they were trained to help me go over the hump. So I partner with BetterHelp.com, and I talk about BetterHelp.com all the time because we need therapy. God and therapy. Some of you have seen my shirts. We need both. Okay? They can coexist. All right? So yeah. Another thing we're not doing in 2021, I think we on number 6 now, is we're not explaining ourselves. We're not explaining ourselves. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Okay? We're not explaining ourselves. We're not doing it. Like, stop. Right now. I put up a video on the Life the Hardy Way YouTube channel, and this last video was of my breast reduction. And I got a lot of, positive feedback, people telling me thank you for sharing. I've had people inbox me telling me the experience that they had, even with just how as they were watching it, they saw the support that I had and different things like that. Like, a lot of positive feedback. And I had someone text me like, why would you put that on the internet? I'm not explaining myself. So I'm going to let you think about the question that you asked. And I'm going to also let you think about the reason why I haven't responded yet. Because I'm just not. Like, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy to explain it to you. Like, it is what it is. I did it. I'm not explaining myself. I'm grown. And not only that, but it's helping so many people. Like, I'm not hurting anybody. I didn't show a nip. So we good. And I don't even have to say that much. Like, I'm not explaining it. So be good. Number 7, in 2021, what we are not doing is not communicating our feelings or getting the help that we need. I kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. But as it relates to not even just therapy, just in our households, with our friends, like, we have to be intentional about communicating. When something is wrong, communicate that. When something feels good, communicate that. Like, how else are people going to, especially people that we're close to, going to understand and to know us if we don't communicate what we like and what we don't like? That's the area that in 2020 I really grew on. Like, even when it came to, being married, I'm like, honey, I didn't like when you said XYZ. And it made me feel like blah, blah, blah. Like, I learned to use I statements in a class that I took in college called conflict resolution. And it pretty much teaches you that when you're having a conversation with someone, you use I statements. I feel like blah, 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 and it makes me do, right? So when I would have a conversation with my husband, I would say, I did not like when you did XYZ. It made me feel like this, and this. And then I could say, even, would you consider blah, 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 or, take it from there. But what that does with those I statements is it allows you to get your feelings out and tell people how, or it allows you to get your thought out and then let them know how it made you feel when they did something that you either like or did not like. One of the areas that my husband loves is when I tell him, yes, babe, I do like this gift. Or no, I don't. No, that's not me. And I'm finally in a space and I'm comfortable where I can have that conversation. Like, no, this gift, it does not represent who I am. I appreciate it, but I'm never gonna use it. I don't like it. But as you get to know me, you'll start to understand what I do like. And then, later on down the line, it's gonna be easy. But because we're still learning each other, I gotta tell you. Okay? So that's number 7. Number 8, and the final one, is we're not asking for permission to execute the vision. Listen, people who were born in the year 2000, they turned 21 this year. And I guarantee you, they ain't asking for permission for nothing. Like, they going all out. This is their year while everybody else is rebuilding and recovering and, whatever. 21-year-olds, they like, oh yeah, it's going down. And so for us who are already over 21, we cannot allow ourselves to get stuck and get in a place where we find ourselves asking for permission to execute nothing. Like, go forth. Go for it, sis. Go forth. Do the thing that you have in your heart and in your mind to do. Do not let this year pass where you do not execute the vision. Do not let this year pass where you do not bring it to full fruition. This is year 21 for you, baby. You just turned 21. You are legal. Go forth. Do the very thing that you have in your heart to do. And in doing so, you're going to find yourself in a mindset where you can do anything. Because those small little wins along the way that you're going to have are going to show you the power and the magnitude of awesomeness that you already have inside of you. So in this 2021, I know we've already done a month of it, and that's great. You did good up until this point. But for the rest of these 11 months, do what you got to do. Do what you were put on this earth to do. Because we don't have time to be set back no more. We don't have time for asking for permission. And I have an episode on the podcast where I think it was with Bryant Barnett. He talked about that. Like, you don't need no permission. Go forth. Okay? So check that episode out. Go over this list. And yeah, walk in your greatness. Walk, as my former principal Sean Stevens would say, walk in your excellence. Like, do the things that you set out to do. Because we not going to be mediocre in 2021. We not going to settle in 2021. All right? Talk to y'all later.